My mountain life back again. So I order trees from about 4 different nurseries, and I'm trying to be like a collection of different trees from different places and stuff that I can't find locally here. And so I use Raintree Nursery for a lot of the trees. But I also use Cummins, or I have. This is the first shipment I've got from Cummins Nursery, and they're out of New York State, I believe. This nursery company, Raintree Nursery, is pretty well known, and they're out of Washington. And they have a lot of different varieties, and I'm trying to have a lot of different varieties of plums and cherries and pears and apples in the orchard. And by having all these different varieties, I'm hoping that if I go to the farmer's market, I don't know if I'll go this year or next year, because I do have some trees that should give me some fruit, but these will take some time. These ones I just got, obviously. But my hope is that I'll have some varieties or cultivars that a lot of other people won't have in my local area. Now, I am taking a chance, however. I'm in zone 5B, according to the USDA's change in 2023. Before that, I was in 5A, and that was from 2012 to 2023. And prior to that, I think I was in 4B. So I don't know if I believe, and I've said this before, I don't know if I believe that I'm necessarily in 5B, but I do know that I have sweet cherries that are zone 5, and they've come back every year. So because of that, I feel fairly confident that some of these will hopefully, maybe all of them, will come back every year, and the winters won't be as harsh. Although every 15 or 20 years I might get a really bad winter here. But what I wanted to talk to you today about, and just because I got these, because it's kind of an interesting topic in my opinion, is my experience with different nurseries and what they carry. And I don't have any experience with Cummins, but I'm going to tell you what I like about what I see on their website. I think, like I said, it's back east. It's like New York State. And then there's a drawback for me from Cummins, but we'll find out this year if it's a negative drawback for me. I'm concerned about it. I'm in a mountain state, so it takes a while for anything from them to get shipped to me. Raintree Nursery is faster because they're just a couple states away from me. I have bought from Raintree in the past, and they've been good for refunding money on trees that don't work out. And they have a lot of different variations of varieties and things that I want to try out. I'm excited about. The local nurseries I use, one's called Plantland and the other one's called Hooper's Nursery. And I like both of them. My experience with the trees is that they come back every year. But the concern that I have is if I plant some varieties that are only made for the cold environments, because they're playing it safe for the most part. They don't want to plant things that are going to die. And so they're planting hardy trees. And so hardy pears and things like that. But I'm not sure how palatable they are. And when I try to research it, and I go on to the different forums, because I usually go to the forums to see what other people are planting and what they're liking to eat and things like that, or what they find tasty and not. I don't really find a lot of the varieties talked about much. Maybe because they don't really need to grow them in the warmer regions of the country. But I have for example, early gold pear. You don't hear about that much. I've got a Ur, which is capital U, capital R, capital E, which they're related. You don't hear about that much. I have a golden spice pear. I've read a little bit about that on the forums, but not a lot, and it doesn't seem to be a pear that people really want to eat that much. I have summer crisp, Parker, Patton, those types of things. those are the pairs that I'm familiar with and the ones that I find at the local nurseries. But when I go to Raintree, there's a bunch of other varieties I can try out, and same with Cummins. So anyway, I like the local nurseries, don't get me wrong, they've been really good to me. The trees they give me are large, they're big, and I appreciate that because they've already kind of established a root system and everything else. But they're limited, and supposedly we're in a warmer climate, so I want to try more things out. I was going to talk about what I liked about the websites and the companies. So Raintree Nursery I like for the variety, and the people there seem to be pretty good about working with me if one of my trees doesn't even leaf out or whatever. Cummins, I really appreciate something on their website that I rarely find anywhere else. They seem to be very forthright in describing the susceptibilities to diseases and things like that of their trees. So yeah, they sell their trees, but they'll tell you right up front, this one is susceptible to brown rot or susceptible to, I don't know, black knot or whatever the case is. And that's just, to me, that's just like an honest thing that you don't find much anymore. If you read the tags on whatever trees people are selling at nurseries, of course they're going to try to tell you all the good things. So they're just all these bright and wonderful words about how great the tree is. And then you might talk to somebody on a forum or read some of the comments on a forum, and people don't like to eat it. And you're like, so I'm buying this tree and nobody really likes to eat it. Or it may be prone to diseases or something. And Cummins, I really appreciate the fact that they were very open. They tell you what their experience has been, or the susceptibilities or resistances to these different diseases these trees have. I really like that. The thing I don't like about Cummins is they're in New York and I'm here, so they're a long ways away, so I'm not sure, if I get them early enough in the season, we're probably fine. I'm not sure that I would order from them during a warmer month, because I don't know how well they're going to come. But I'm going to open these boxes now and just show you, or my cat and I, Stolter, and we're just going to show you what the trees look like. So here's how Raintree Nursery's trees come. They're packed in I think newspaper is what I found in the past, and then wrapped in plastic. I'm not sure how these are packed this time. The varieties that I've got a Kirk's Blue European plum. I have an early gold Asian plum that I'm going to actually place closer to my Toka and my black ice, because I don't know, early gold kind of leads me to believe it's going to be more of an earlier bloomer. I've never tried these, but I've read about them, the Marabella de Nancy, so I've got that. And I don't know, I mean, people, I'll go through these again later on, but hopefully these will turn out okay. And the last one I have is Purple Gauge. And I've heard good things and kind of mixed reviews on that one. So that's the Raintree Nursery trees that I got. And then the Cummins, I have two varieties I shipped, or I bought from them, because I haven't. We'll see what our experience is like. I'm hoping that they'll leaf out really quick, and then I'll have really good things to say. Okay, well, first of all, the diameter of the trees, I think they sell different diameters of trees, and these are some hefty trees. But so one of them, wow, they're heavy too. One of them I got was called a Lavina, and I don't find this variety like anywhere else. At least, I mean, I suppose I could if I looked at different nursery websites, but I didn't see this over here in the west coast or the western part of the states. Lavina is not something I've seen. It's supposedly originally from Lithuania, I believe, or Latvia, one of those two places, one of the Baltic states. And I'll talk about this later, but I guess it was some horticulturalist that basically found something out of the Crimea, the Krim, and took it to up north and then cross-pollinated it with some of the local plums, and they came up with the Lavina. And then the other one I got was Vampire, which is, my understanding, a really good one, good plum. So I'm actually happy with what I'm seeing right now on these two. And I got a little bit of greenery showing on the Lavina. And then, yeah, a little bit of greenery showing on the Vampire too. And they're Asian plums, so that's kind of to be expected. And they shipped pretty well. There's only one little piece of a branch in here, or two. They look like they cut them. So they actually trimmed them before they put them in. So we'll get them in the ground tonight. That's the goal. And see how everything turns out with these two Asian plums. Now, the Lavina, on a side note, I'm actually going to plant the Lavina in a place, and I'm not going to hold it against anybody. So I'm going to plant it in a place that is probably, out of both of these orchards, one that'll probably have the most shade. But I read on their website where it talked about the Lavina being a tree that actually can grow in the shade okay. Now, what I'm trying to say is I should plant it in the sun, you know, in a more sunny location. But I have a location that I want to plant a tree in, and this particular variety just seems like the best one to put there. We'll see how it turns out. The Vampire I'm going to plant more out here, so it'll get more full sun. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. I'm pretty excited about both of these setups. Now, last year I ordered a tree, and it was really big around, looked really good. I put it in the ground, and out of all the trees that didn't leaf, that one just put out little tiny leaves, and I think it's dead this year, unfortunately. And I don't know if I'll replant that variety in the future or not. But anyway, so that's the end of this video for today. 6 trees will go in tonight. And then I have more orders coming from Raintree I have 2 more orders coming, one in the middle of April and then one at the end of April, and I will end April, beginning of May, and I'll go over with and tell you about those. What I've been doing since the last video I made is I've been digging holes and planning out where all these trees are going to go, so that all I have to do is just take my shovel, take out the loose dirt, put the tree in, put the dirt back in, give it some water, and put some mulch over the top. Good to go. I locked the fence up the front of this new orchard that I've basically constructed, so the deer shouldn't be coming in, and I'll lock this one up tonight. I've got some little metal twist ties that I'll make sure that the deer can't get in here. They've been enjoying this place throughout the winter, so fortunately deer aren't going to be in here anymore, but we'll hopefully have some good trees. All right, well, this is my my mountain life, and signing off for today, and we'll hopefully show you the trees in the future. Thanks for watching.